Quite the find deep underwater off Cape Flattery near Neah Bay. A salvage company here in Washington says it has found a famous shipwreck. The sonar images are unmistakable to the trained eye. A shipwreck more than 1,000 feet deep off the Washington coast. It was November of 1875. The steamship SS Pacific was traveling from Seattle to San Francisco when it collided with a large sailing ship in the dark of night.
It had a major impact on the Northwest. It was the first ship that was carrying passengers on regularly scheduled service between Seattle and San Francisco.
Current estimates put that number at 325 people, probably more. Just 2 people survived. Also on board, tons of oats, hops, hides, 230 tons of coal, and a substantial amount of gold, as detailed in this newspaper article shortly after the Pacific went down. Jeff Hummel has been exploring Northwest waters since the 1980s, and his love of history has driven him to search for the Pacific, an endeavor that began in 1993 and was reignited in 2017 after years of painstaking research.
But eventually I found a commercial fisherman who brought up some old coal, and just by strange circumstance, he happened to still have the piece. And so I was able to get it chemically analyzed by a laboratory up in Alberta.
It was a match to the ship, and he and his team began to close in. 12 missions later, they have identified the wreck. Those 2 circle depressions you see there, the distinctive paddle wheels from the Pacific.
They had fallen out of the ship when it broke up near the surface, and they are several hundred meters away from the actual wreck. It was one of the moments of, realizing that we'd actually found the ship.
Having just secured the legal documents, granting his team exclusive salvage rights, Hummel can now take a breath as he gears up for the next phase of recovery and preservation.
The state of preservation of this wreck is on par with any of the greatest shipwreck finds in the world.
They are very excited. They're not sharing a whole lot of details right now, but Hummel says his plan is to build a local museum to display parts of the ship and some personal items, trying to tell the stories of the people on board. Salvage and preservation efforts are expected to take several years.